Hi there, my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I just finished listening to Nicholas Briggs' latest release, and Big Village's latest release, The Human Frontier. This is an original audio drama, and it's really rather good. It's a recommend from me. I liked it a lot. It's very cerebral, it's very thinky. It asks interesting questions and does it in an interesting way with strong storytelling, great acting. So really, I don't know what more you can want for a recommend there. I'm going to go into it in much more detail, but yeah, no, it is a recommend on all those levels. But before we get into the review, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? I just broke 1,000 subscribers, and I am utterly thrilled. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, subscribe. But if you haven't subscribed, can you hit the subscribe button? Because I want to stay over 1,000 subscribers. Because, yeah, YouTube makes you go up and down. It's the weirdest thing. I do not understand the vagaries of YouTube, but that is what they do. So if you can hit the subscribe button, thank you very much. I am incredibly grateful. I want to show you my gratitude. I'm going to show my gratitude just for showing up to this video. Go check the video notes. There is a little prize for you there. You can download an audio adventure called The Tomorrow People, The New Gods. This is something that was made by Big Finish many years ago, but is no longer available. They no longer have the license for it, and you can't buy them anymore. So I've been posting them here. Them and Sapphire and Still, the two of their defunct rangers. I would say if you download it, you listen to it, and you enjoy it, if they ever get the license back, which they're not going to do, but if they ever get the license back, tootle over to bigfinish.com and buy yourself a digital copy. So, you know, it's all nice and kosher. But that's not a demand. That's really a recommendation from me. Also, if you hit the subscribe button, you are eligible to enter my weekly competitions. This one's a bit naff, okay? I'm going to tell you now, this one's a bit naff. The other one's a bit much better, but this one, okay, let me just show you the other prizes that I'm waiting to mail off, okay? This was a great one. Look, Matrix, the complete Matrix box set. That was awesome. Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, Fellowship of the Ring. So, you know, we have stonking great prizes that you can win if you subscribe. This week, though, is a movie. I picked it up and went, oh, that's a great movie. I love it. And then I forgot. You can buy it probably from $2.99 from most charity shops at this point. But it's a movie you need to have in your DVD collection. It is the 2002 Sam Raimi original Spider-Man. This, I think, is a movie that I think created the glut of superhero movies that we have now. So, you know, you might hate it for that reason. But it's a DVD made from when they used to really make great DVDs. It's a 2-disc set. It's got like 4 commentaries, tons of commentaries, loads of extras, loads of documentaries about the cultural history of Spider-Man, the making of this movie. It's great. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and then in the comments leave the hashtag Webhead, and we're going to do the giveaway on Sunday the 7th, when I'm going to be in the TARDIS zone. And we're going to do a live watch-along of Parting of the Ways, the 2005 Doctor Who series finale, and it's a freaking awesome episode. And then we'll pick out the prize for the next week. Fine. So let's talk about The Human Frontier, and it is a bit of an interesting beast. So the basic vibe I got from this was like one of those really interesting science fiction one-offs that you saw in the 70s from the BBC. Kind of like Moonbase 3 or The Flip Side of Dominic Hyde, or another flip from Dominic. But they had a whole like series of like Place for Tomorrow, these like little sci-fi shows, and they're all really good, really interesting, really cerebral. Which is how I would describe it. The only reason that this feels kind of like a little bit bigger budget than that, because it's on audio. But yeah, it's actually pretty clear, like how that they had such a very limited cast to tell the story. But I really think it works. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that limiting a budget makes for more interesting drama. I really have, and yeah, most of the time that really works. So the first thing, there's a couple of things I want to say before I get into the review. Firstly, I have biases. I did a review. I did an interview with Nick Briggs 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I really like him. I really genuinely like him, and I really wanted to like this. So I'm biased. So that everything's being filtered through my like of Mr. Briggs. But I will say I liked him before I interviewed him too. And I liked his work as well. The second thing that I want to talk about is something that initially did put me off and would put me off if I walked into it cold, which is there is like this kind of what seems to be an annoying 2020ism in it, in that everybody is in same-sex relationships. I can't remember the leading woman. Again, this wouldn't be a problem in 2015, but the leading woman is this dark-skinned woman. So why would anybody in their right mind have a problem with that? It's because I think that a lot of our TV and our movies have been screaming at us messages really unsubtly that nobody in their right mind would disagree with. Like women are people too. Like skin color is irrelevant. Yeah, is irrelevant. Yeah, this is stuff I grew up with in the 80s. Honestly, it never occurred to me to think any differently this, but it seems to be in the last 2 or 3 years that the people who create our entertainment very much believe that we don't think that, and that's why they put women of color and women and in positions of authority, because I think they don't believe the audience is on board for that, but the audience really is on board with that. So even though it looks that way, I don't think that's what was going on with Briggs here. I think he just cast somebody who he thought was good. And I don't think he was trying to say anything about it. I do think having two female leads in the more, well, maybe three female leads, it makes it again, it's a very 2020-ish trope, especially in science fiction. Um, again, 2015 it would have been fine. And I think it's more that this is just something that's currently fashionable. And if you're writing something, you can't help but be carried through with like the fashions of the age, of the day, which is what I think this is. So whenever I see this now, I just get annoyed. I have an immediate block because I figure. I feel like I'm being preached at something that I already believe in, so you don't need to preach it to me. Again, I don't know anybody who doesn't believe that as well. So, women are people too. Yeah, I don't know anybody who doesn't think that. That makes a block for me. The good news is that I think the strength of the writing and the strength of storytelling, which is extremely high, makes you forget about that. I forgot about it completely by the second disc, I think. Maybe by the third disc, you're totally pulled into the story. So what is the story? The story is a really interesting thing. It's about a colony ship that left Earth 1,000 years earlier, and everyone's been in suspended animation. And they arrive at the planet. They're going to colonize. And there's a lot of stuff I'm missing out because I really want this to be spoiler free because I want you to buy it. Okay, most of my reviews are big finish spoiler free, but they arrive at the planet and they find a group of people living there, and they've been living there for 300 years, and so a lot's happened in the 1,000 years they've been asleep. But also something interesting that comes out is that nobody knew this colony ship ever left Earth. It was all done in secret. So you have like these two cultures which are separated, and you have this like real cultural clash, which is very cultural clash of people from the same origin, which I just found really interesting. I think it's very clearly talking about the cultural divide that we're living through in the world. How everybody thinks they're right, how everybody thinks they are being virtuous and just, no matter what side of the cultural divide you're on. Although it would be nice for people on the progressive side to not assume people like me, the more traditional people, didn't hate people because their skin color or because they're gender. Really, it's just dumb thinking that. So again, which is why these tropes that I was talking about are so annoying because it all ties into that. But so you have two cultures who have really, really different outlooks on life. You're basically designed to more empathize with the crew of the Human Frontier, the colony ship. But because of the good writing, as it goes on, you end up disagreeing and agreeing with both sides completely equally, and you hear the arguments of both sides. So I'm not going to get into what the core disagreement is because that's really fascinating. And again, I don't want to do spoilers, but a really important theme of this is what is autonomy, what is humanity, what is the human frontier. I think it's very aptly named because everybody from the colony ship has this little chip embedded into their brains, which has an AI in their heads living with them. which who knows everything. So the question really becomes, who is in control? Is it the AI or is it the person? And that's a really interesting question to talk about, and it's not as clear as you would have thought. And it's written really well in that you're at one point you lean towards one side. You go, oh, obviously, but then you lean towards the other side. Again, very clever stuff. I liked it a lot. Um, Nick Briggs is in a I would say extended cameo. The person who invented this AI and also financed this covert 1,000-year colony mission is who was it? Hans Dendrick, and he's a kind of like an Elon Musk type character. He's like this technology guru, very visionary, and like very much cares about the direction of humanity, or does he? I mean, he cares about it, but is he removing free will from people? That's one of the interesting questions that you're left to grapple with. It's a little bit confusing in the beginning, the first disc and second disc to a certain extent, about what's going on, because this is very much about the human perception and the way humans perceive things and their perception creating reality. The storytelling is I'll say it's mostly linear, but it's also somewhat associative. So you find yourself jumping from like setting to setting, and you're not really quite sure: is this the past? Is this the future? And what's really going on? But again, I think that's something that you probably need a second listen to be able to really appreciate it. But it's a very clever idea. Yeah, along with along with a lot of this. So yeah, it was not a mistake, but again, it's something done very deliberately and cleverly, I would say. The cast is absolutely excellent. Pepta Lunkus, if I'm pronouncing her name right. If I pronounce your name wrong, Pep, I'm so sorry. She's really excellent. The relationship between her and Genevieve Gaunt, she's the exographer. I'm not really sure what that means. And Genevieve Gaunt is her commander. Commander Daisy Bailey. That's played very genuinely and very realistically. I believe that. I believe the genuine affection they have for each other. Lucy Briggs Owen plays Nilly, the AI implanted into everybody's head. Clive Wood is great. He plays the president of the planet that they get to. The planet's called Triton. But really, I think the MVP, the real standout of this, is Mark Elstop, who created not one but two really distinct and fantastic roles. The first one being Robert Harrigan, this northern commander of the Human Frontier, or the backup commander, as it turns out, who's a really distinct character. But then I didn't even realize it was Mark Elstop playing both of them. It was that impressive. And then in a much more Mark Elstop type of way, very much like was it Peter Niles? Is that name Peter? The guy who plays Nida in Genesis of the Daleks. They had that very real cold clipped. He's this political fixer, and you get a feeling not a very nice person. So there's a bunch of mysteries that aren't resolved in this 4-part series. And yeah, while I was listening to it, when I was about halfway through, I thought this is really fascinating. I was really hoping it's going to be a self-contained piece, and then maybe Nick Briggs will do something totally different or something in the same universe. If there was a need for a follow-up. But yeah, when I got to the end, I saw this was this is clearly an opening slither of a larger story. So I really hope he gets to tell the story. I'm so actually kind of invested in it now that if he's not able to do it on audio, they don't sell. I would really recommend he writes a book, because I would read the further a book to continue this. And yeah, I would really strongly recommend it to him. But it's really, I really hope it gets a second season. I really hope it gets a second season because I like Nick Briggs. Yeah, I think he'll be very happy about that. So that's really one of my big motivations. But also, I know there's a lot more to tell of this story. I know there's a lot more going on, and I would really like to see the full thing. This is a really fascinating piece. I really recommend it. I really recommend it very, very strongly. It is not like balls to the wall action, like something like The War Doctor is. This is again a much more contemplative piece. Imagine, it's got the feel of, again, flip side of Dominic Hyde or Moonbase 3, but because it's on audio, it feels like it's got those, recent Alien movie, budgets, like, machine to it. So, yeah, again, for me, this is a strong, strong recommend. I really hope you buy it. It's $16.99 on download, and it's great. Yeah, that's really, all I have to say about it. It's a really good piece of entertainment, really worth your time. So it's a strong recommend for me. My name is Fila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Can you hit the subscribe button? Can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? All those things are fantastic. Thank you very much, and have yourself a fantastic day.